The last problem that our friend Charlie wants us to fix is this dented passenger door on this white car. Looking at this photo, I've got three areas that I need to fix. This big dent over here, this smaller dent there, and then the last dent over there. In our first two problems, we learned about the stamp tool and ways we can copy, paste, and rotate sections of a picture to go over sections that aren't looking so great. I'm going to teach you a new tool that's very powerful and honestly would have helped in the other two, but I think it's good to know what some of the smaller tools are in case you needed more control. This tool is called Content Aware Fill. The first thing we need to do is go to our layers. Right now our Photoshop document has two layers, a background white layer, and then our car door picture. In order to use the Content Aware function, we need to make sure that whatever photo we're trying to edit is the background. Right now, our background is this white square, and there's nothing really we can do to edit that to make this picture any better. So I'm just going to delete it by clicking on this trash can. So now I just have one layer, this dented door. So if I select this, go to Layer, New, Background from Layer, I can click that, and you'll see my layer has changed its name to background. But most importantly, it is locked. Now what we're going to do is bring back our lasso tool. As a reminder, our lasso tool lets us draw a line around a section of pixels that in the earlier case we wanted to copy and paste. In this Content Aware feature, we're actually going to take this lasso tool and we're going to circle an area that we want to fix up using the Content Aware feature. So over the years, Photoshop has gotten a lot smarter. Before, in order to replace this dented door, we would have to do all those little tools that I just shared of copying, pasting, stamping areas. But now, if you lasso an area that you want to fix and touch up, you make sure that your photo is the background layer, and you hit delete, you'll get this feature. It's the fill feature. Right now, our contents are background color, but if you move it and select Content Aware, you're going to hit OK and see what magic Photoshop can do on its own. Depending on your computer, it might take a while, but you'll notice that after it's done predicting, it's going to give you this section which it thinks you wanted to fill the lasso with based off of what it saw around. So if I'm going to Command Z just to show you what it was like before we had this dent, but it had all this information around it. And the computer said, this human wants me to remove this egg shape and wants me to connect these areas here. So I'm going to fill in this area with what I think this person wants to fill it with. So one more time, one way, another tool that you might need is to redo or go forward a step. So Command Z is to go back a step, and if you do Command Shift Z or go to Edit Redo, it's going to go forward a step. So that's how that looks now. If I click out, just anywhere outside of the artboard, I can remove my lasso and I can see how it turned out. And honestly, I'm pretty proud with that. I think that looks pretty good, and I think Charlie will be happy too. Let's do that same Content Aware feature, but this time I'm going to bring it down here. I'm going to lasso this dark spot, highlight it, hit delete, and then go to Content Aware. And now I'll see that the computer did an okay job. It was able to continue this line, and it continued the line from here, but it got a little mixed up in how to complete that line together. One way you can approach this is by continuing to do this lasso content aware. So right now the top left portion is looking good, but this bottom right portion, I think it could do better. So I'm going to lasso it, delete, hit content aware OK, and see if I can slowly bring this information, this line and all that color over here. And so far, it's pretty good. And this last section, I could lasso and content aware, but I'm such a pro with this stamp tool that now I can just stamp this line and bring it a little bit closer. There, good as new. Good as new for a used car. And now this last section, we've got this little spot up here that I think could be removed. I'm gonna highlight that with my lasso tool, hit delete, hit OK, and it completely removed that weird bump highlight that was there, and it filled it with the same gray that the rest of the car is colored by. Content aware is a great way of quickly getting rid of things that you don't want to appear in a photograph. I usually start with a content aware tool, and if I can't quite get my picture to look the way I want to with content aware, then I'll switch to the stamp tool or copying, pasting, and erasing from the first two problems. Once you have your door fixed, you can go to File, Save As, add your name to the end of it, and then save it as a JPEG so I know that that last problem is finished.